Do you feel overwhelmed? Do you feel like you know what you need to do every single day, but for whatever reason, the tasks just feel so big you have absolutely no idea where to start? You keep trying, but you never make any headway. You do research, you ask other people, but for whatever reason, it just feels like this is a mountain that you cannot climb. Now, when you're thinking about things that you want to achieve in your life, things that you want to do, whether they're small things or whether they're really big things, either way, it's going to require you to get things done. And sometimes we end up procrastinating because we have no idea how to get those things done. And so we start to make excuses as to why we can't do it today, why tomorrow is a better day, why Monday will be the day that I actually get started. Hi, I'm Anthea, founder of Amarkai Group. We help entrepreneurs and small business owners to skyrocket their success so that they can create more impact in the world. Keep watching to find out why you procrastinate. And one of the main reasons for this is simply because you are overwhelmed. You have this feeling that you are drowning, that you are carrying so much weight on your shoulders, you have absolutely no idea how you can get to the surface. And because you feel like that, because it is so uncomfortable, you then have doubts about your ability to even achieve what it is that you set out to do. So whether it's something to do with relationships, your health, maybe you're starting a new business, none of those things really matter. The feeling can be exactly the same, regardless of where in your life you are trying to make changes. And procrastination will hit you anytime you have doubt, especially doubt in your ability to get it done. So how do you go about working through large tasks? Well, one of the key things that you can do is break it down. It's overwhelming because at the moment it actually looks like a mountain. So what if you broke it down into smaller rocks? Then they look more manageable. They seem more achievable. And it doesn't feel like such a huge thing that you need to complete. Now, the bonus of actually breaking down large tasks is that it really gets you to think what actually needs to be done. Because when something is so big, you have absolutely no idea where to start. But as you're breaking it down, you can think about every single thing that needs to be done and treat every single item separately. And all it takes is your ability to move one step at a time. You don't have to have everything complete at once. And also, you have to be realistic about the amount of time it's going to take you to get it done. Part of the overwhelm is because we set unrealistic deadlines for how we get things achieved. We don't set enough time aside. We don't consult other people. We don't bring the help in. We don't study. We don't go and do our research. And so based on the knowledge that we have, which is sometimes limited, especially when we're doing new things, we've now created this mammoth task with no other input as to how to achieve it. So think about what's the first thing you would do. If you had to do one thing today, what would that be? And then once you've completed that, what would be the next thing that you would do? And once you've completed that, what would be the next thing that you would do? And considering it in literal baby steps, one at a time, it helps you to really focus on the next task instead of all tasks. So now something that just seemed to be gigantic is a lot smaller, it's a lot more manageable, and actually it's a lot more achievable. And the bonus of doing it this way is that for every time you complete an action, you can celebrate. You can celebrate the fact that you've achieved this particular task, which is getting you one step closer to your bigger goals. And that's how things are achieved. They're not achieved by starting at the end and allocating an entire day to just get everything done at once. Sometimes that's what's necessary, but for the most part, especially if you start to feel things like stress or anxiety or overwhelm, it's usually because you set yourself a task so big you have absolutely no idea how you're going to achieve it. And because you're so focused on the how, you haven't actually figured out what needs to be done. So driving your attention to the what needs to be done, breaking it down into smaller, more manageable chunks, considering how much time it may actually take you, not to complete the task specifically, but based on your existing lifestyle. Because sometimes you can set amount of time to get something completed, but have you created the space in your life to achieve it? If you are in meetings back to back all day, every day for this week, when are you going to have the time to complete your next action? If you are busy every single evening doing social events, business events, work events, whatever, when are you going to have the time in the evening to find that space to get the thing done? If your weekends are always busy, when are you going to find the time to get it done? So it's important that you are also realistic about when you will have the time to complete all of these actions. Remember, time is subjective. Everyone has the same amount of time in a given day, and how you choose to use yours is completely up to you and will determine whether or not you get closer or further away from the things that you want to achieve. So what is it that you need to do next? That's the only question that you need to answer in order to get these bigger tasks completed. Think about how important they are. Think about how urgent they are. Think about what time you have in any given day or any given week that will allow you to spend time getting this thing done. Because the more you overthink everything that needs to get done and don't create the space or time to do it, it will continue to be this overwhelming mammoth task that will never be achieved. And you will constantly reinforce this thought that you can't do things. The thing is, you can. It's just the process that you're using to get things done is not working for you. And this is also part of working towards your goals, is seeing what's working for me and what isn't. So even if you set out the next action and the time that you allocated to get it done, it passed by and you didn't achieve it, don't beat yourself up about it. Just have a look. Why didn't I get that done? Did I create the space and the time to do so? Did I underestimate or overestimate the amount of time it would have taken? Did I need external resources to support? Is there someone that I could have called to help me? Is there someone who I could have delegated that to do instead? So once you start asking yourself these questions, you'll start to realize how much time you actually have to get things done and whether or not you're even the right person to do so. Remember that one thing is something. So every time you don't do anything, you're doing nothing. You are getting not one step closer to anything that you are trying to achieve. But if you're able to do just one thing, whether it be today or this week or this month, you are still going to be getting so much closer to completing the bigger task and also feeling less overwhelmed, because every time you complete something, you know that you are one step closer and you have one less thing to do. So don't overwhelm yourself, because overwhelm leads to procrastination. Your inability to get things done, your avoidance strategies, your delay strategies. And no one ever wins when we procrastinate. Nobody benefits. So focus on what needs to be done, break down the task, identify who needs to do it, allocate the time, space, or resources to ensure that the next action can be done, and set realistic timelines for when you can get them done too. And if you approach every big task that you need to do with this kind of approach, you will find that you get more things done, you procrastinate less, and you build your confidence because you are showing yourself that you can do the hard things. So I hope you found this video useful. Please subscribe to the channel, like, comment, and share. Let us know what your methods are for overcoming procrastination is. See you again soon.